really show this so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
Matching hundreds. It's a
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight, it's the 512th and final game of the regular season, and we've got a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you follow him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, nothing but room to run.
Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So third and long. Off the play fake, here's Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Donald in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately. I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run with Edwards here to begin the drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
A look at the numbers last week for Edwards. Just downright unbelievable. I mean, when you amass that many yards, I don't know what else to say.
Personally, I thought it was a game for the ages for him. Ripped off some long runs in that contest, didn't he?
He did indeed. Some very long runs, and that total, scary. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Ryan Switzer, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Rosen, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. It's complete. This is Todd Gurley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. Dumps it off to Gurley. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Following the penalty, it's Gurley. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Throwing on second and long. Rosen. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
I think the good offensive coordinators in the league now are looking at the fullback position and finding the right guys to hide in that spot and increase their passing game, as we just saw there. How about the run after catch?
And Gurley here fumbled it. Gurley fumbles the football. It's loose. And it looks like Steeler football. It is. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed, because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get out to the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
They'll go back to Edwards on first down. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The end result, 21 yards. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Back to throw. Short, escaping the pressure right. And that will be incomplete. Try to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
Terrific coverage in the end zone that time. Forced him out of the pocket to his right. I thought maybe try and run it there, but no one came open for him. Nice job by the defense of not getting out of their lanes.
Looking left sideline, it's complete. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And in week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. On fourth down, Short. Able to find Switzer. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Ryan Switzer with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And it's now 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field.
Personal foul.
I'm not sure what this is about.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. any part of it, it's going to be 15 yards.
Now a play fake here on first down. The first catch of the game for George Kittle.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. They go with Gurley on first down, but he goes nowhere. They bottled him up for a loss of a couple. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. On 2nd and 12, Rosen looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 20-yard line. First foray into the red zone for Miami. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Now a draw play for Gurley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Third and long here for Rosen. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. On 4th down, Brian Flores going to call on the field goal unit. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to
a big seam, and he might go all the way. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. 72 yards. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Here we go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into... Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jamal Adams on the safety blitz, too fast to handle.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting...
He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, It's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Boswell good with the extra point, and the rout is on here in this first half. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. The Dolphins on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. And now it's Rosen looking. That is caught by the former Gator Antonio Callaway. 25 yards there on the catch and run. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
Those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
Here's Rosen to throw. Oliver, the tight end, making the catch. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Antonio Callaway, the intended receiver, but now it'll be 3rd down. On 3rd down, Rosen.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense. Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Setting up the screen here to Edwards. 7 yards there on the first down screen play. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Stop your body. Back. Check. You draw forfeit. Hit it.
On 2nd down, it's Edwards. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. He's got the first down and more inside the 40, and finally brought down at the 31-yard line. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, short, flushed out right. He'll take his shot for the end. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, rip your room.
Pressure comes and down goes Rosen.
Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground.
And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
One more time, they'll keep it on the ground. And they will get to him behind the line, but the clock continues to tick down.
They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down.
Here's Logan Cook now,
as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the 2nd half.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the 2nd half of Week 17 is underway.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. He's at the 30, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. That'll go down as a 99-yard kick return as his guys can... Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for him.
And you've used the phrase with me before, pressing the kicking game. What exactly does that mean? Because they did it there.
It means focusing on it, all aspects of it, because it's the 3rd part of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. If you press the kicking game, create an advantage, make a big play, it often leads to victory.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield.
And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. Rosen will throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Only a yard on the 3rd down throw, and that leads to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And the Steelers set to take the field. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
How about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their...
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great play there. 76 yards as his guys continue to pour it on.
So what was already a game to remember becomes even more so as that touchdown run, a lengthy one, takes him over 200 yards now for the game.
And I love the fact that to get over 200, it took a pretty good sprint, didn't it? I mean, a lot of times you get 1 or 2 yards and oh, he's over 200 yards. But that really put an exclamation point on the game he's having. fantastic, a lot of fun to watch.
Come on, fellas.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Rosen. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to make it fourth down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator. When we clip out the box score, nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Looking to throw. Short. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. From 8 yards out as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. It's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And would you believe it? This is caught in the end zone. And the fake extra point works to extend their lead by 2.
And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off.
This is taken at about the 14. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He is north of 200 yards. Any time that you can say you're north of 200 yards, you've done something right.
Yeah, you're going to get some big check marks on your grade sheet, and you're going to be in heavy rotation on all the highlight shows, and you might even make a magazine cover or 2.
He's hoping for more, the cherry on top maybe, as this game goes forward. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Back to throw. Short.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Out of the gun, they give to Edwards. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
We play to win. Let's go. Set, ready? 8, read. 54, Mike, 54. It's just me and you.
Throwing on first down. Short. Flush to his right. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 2nd and 9, Rosen. And an alley to run. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at his 4. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devin Bush in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beat.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust it.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And would you believe it? This is caught in the end zone.
And the fake extra point works to extend their lead by 2.
Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us. And they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, could also result in a melee later, though.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they gave up the pick 6. And now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. And I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offensive getting so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
They'll keep it on the ground. Madison, room here to run. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side, but how about on the back side?
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. 2nd and 6. Eluding the pressure right. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back up? And now here is another interception. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. They've got this big lead. They said, forget 1. We want 2. Instead, they got 0.
Unbelievable that they even attempted from the 15-yard line. What are they thinking? I do know this. When you fake one in this situation with that type of a lead, especially from the 15-yard line, oh, boy. I tell you what, meeting them again somewhere down the line, they'll remember this. Yeah, they'll think that they were trying to cloud them a little bit.
Rosen and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now Rosen looking to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Rosen. Incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in.
And my goodness, another interception. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Ready, break. 57.
On first down, Madison. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. Looking to throw. Short. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Second and long. Escaping the pressure right. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10. Throwing again. Short. Flushed out right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Being chased out left. Oh, he's going to go for it all. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward. At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Second and 10 now. It's Rosen. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Here's Rosen. And that will be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Back to throw. Short. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Pittsburgh, they'll wrap up the campaign an impressive 15-1. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they'll limp to the finish line with a final record of 5-11. And this is a team that has a few good pieces in place, but could stand to get deeper and younger all around. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
I do this for the family.